Welcome everybody to round 4 of the season, Australia. We are here for Tier 1 today, and I am joined by Milo Gaming. Hello Milo Gaming, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm great. Completely different story to Tier 2 today. Dry conditions throughout, which will make it even closer than before. I am looking forward to it. I am doing very well.
It's great to hear, great to hear. Well, we have a close session already on our hands. As you see, Polo God beating his teammate ARL lane up there. What do you think about the session so far?
Well, we've certainly been treated to some quick laps so far. We've also been treated to some mistakes. Oh, sorry, we'll interrupt that because Rapalucas has taken provisional pole. We've seen Sam had a spin. We've seen TSR Norris drive into the wall. It's a very unforgiving circuit. Some of the curbs are nasty, and it could all go horribly wrong in the blink of an eye.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay then, John. He was fast in practice here with the Red Bull team, and now he's on top on the leaderboards. There you go. As you say that, Axe goes P5. Oh man. What have we seen so far? Anyways, Tier 2 and Tier 3. Axe is getting very annoyed with him. Either way, the way it was for Tier 2 and Tier 3 yesterday, we had Pluto, Kagoda, Beatnik all on podium. Beatnik getting a post-race penalty. But the thing is, those guys all won races earlier this season, and we had those winners this season in Tier 2 on the podium. Tier 3, we had Dada Lucas getting crashed out and different strategy. We saw an underdog podium with G13 Ollie taking the race win for Haas and getting the seat promotion. And then after that, there was Lewis, Raptor, and Bones. How about that for top 4? And what do you think of those two races?
Well, the Tier 3 race was certainly a shock to us all. You know, Williams locking out the front row to a double DNF. That could easily happen today. You can see it's John right now on provisional pole, but that could all go horribly wrong for him in the race. So do not rule anyone out of this. Safety cars likely as well. Didn't have one in Tier 2, which again made it a surprise. So the weekend so far has just been full of little surprises here and there, and I expect that to continue into Tier 1. Yeah,
it should all be interesting. Bokeris apparently had a DRS failure, according to someone in chat. So his chance of going 5 in a row might be compromised by a few things. Well, from what I've heard here this weekend, Boker has had issues before in the past. It's not the first time, as we do have a spin that's a Mercedes. But anyway, I want to go over the points here. You should be able to see it now on stream. This is what the point standings look like, constructors and driver standings. We have Milo, Felipe, Rapalucas, the top 3. Then back there, Razone, Sam C, Tax, Polo, Atlantis, F1 driver, John rounding out the top 10. In this point sheet that you see right here for the driver standings, who is the biggest shock to you?
Sam has been very consistent throughout the season, and to see him only 2 points off Razone in the fight for 4th, no, he's doing very well. Razone, we expect him to break the Boca win streak, if you like, so I would not be surprised if that happens. Massive improvement from last season, already been on the podium this season. He's had a very strong start to qualifying today, so if he can just keep up some momentum now, he can get himself higher up the point standings.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry, I didn't know you were...
I was gonna say as well, DW, obviously, he had a little bit of a temper tantrum after France, and now going into round 4, he is 20th with 0 points.
Yeah, some people said, did he have a quali ban? No, this is his first race he came back. The thing is about that, last week it would have been served, and last week the 10 seconds would have been served. He didn't race last week. The thing is, between the seasons, this was changed, where the penalties heading into the next race, if you didn't race the next race, it wouldn't be served. It would be served then, basically. So he doesn't have a quali ban. He can go out anytime he wants. He doesn't have the 10 seconds, so he's fine. Biggest surprise to me I'm going to go with a few of them. Sam Steed for sure being the positive out of this, being P5 in points. And for sure, Polo got his podium in Bahrain. Atlantis is 4th earlier this season, back in 8th. I mean, a lot of good guys up here. And Rapper Lucas, our champion, not doing as well. And just kind of the big lead Boker has, too, I would say. That's pretty impressive for sure. Also, something I want to mention is Alabama Outlaw. Last season at this point, he would have had a podium. He would have had at least somewhere up in the top 10 in points. He's nowhere to be found in this list because he has 0 points. So, obviously things changed for him, and this is the way it is. And it's tough when you're in that position. He just doesn't feel as competitive. And he runs down in P14 right now in that McLaren. And Felipe really doing a lot more work for McLaren. And speaking of the constructors in the team standings, let's look at that. Renault having almost, I think that's almost a race lead. I think it is a completely race lead right there. It's almost a race lead over McLaren. Then behind that, you actually have Toro Rosso, shockingly, this time in the season, up to P3. That's one of my probably surprises. And you have Williams, Ferrari behind that, and Haas with 0 points. What about the constructor standings?
Well, McLaren being dragged along. He's got all 48 of their points, as you can see via the brilliant graphics on the screen. We'll point that out there. Toro Rosso as well with the great teamwork of Rizone and Atlantis. If they keep being consistent, they can really take the fight to McLaren. Ferrari as well, just 2 points behind Williams. We thought Williams were going to be right at the top, so for them to just be 2 points behind them, that's a real positive. Same with Alfa Romeo. Polo chipping in with a podium to that 30 points tally as well. Haas right at the bottom. That could easily change today with ARL taking a full-time drive for them. He's currently 4th place in this qualifying session.
Yeah, obviously so much can change within seconds, and we've seen this so many times before in races. We saw a safety car. We've seen so many things. Surprisingly, Singapore, we didn't see a safety car. Tier 1's been fairly clean this season with the safety cars, VSCs, and everything else we've had. We have a DNF with Atlantis. We have a yellow flag also somewhere else. Boker battling an Alfa Romeo there. Anyway, who is that yellow flag for? No clue right now. Anyways, before we get to the end of the qualifying session, Haas, yeah, our lane changes there. Ricochet had problems with the Xbox last week, so Jack takes over for the time being in that Ferrari. Once Ricochet comes back, Jack will be out of that Ferrari, so that's just the way it goes for now. That's the way everything looks in the rides, and that's the way it is. So, now to the actual screen. Alright, so
Lucas is about 300 up.
Last season champion struggled at the start of the season. So did Riles for Tier 2. How much is Rap Lucas going to need to put on the pressure on Boker and everyone else? And how much is he going to have to do to deliver for Williams and get them up in the constructors? Because they are pretty far down compared to where they expected.
Well, with Boker down in 13th place, this lap means absolutely everything. And he'd love to put himself on provisional pole, whether he'll do it or not. No, he won't.
Oh. Now, next to the line, there was a Red Bull. That was Danny. Get it? And behind that, Sam Steed starts his lap. A Renault behind that. Also, that's Mr. Boker. And an Alfa Romeo to follow. That is F1 driver coming to the line, and along with the McLaren of Felipe, who actually gets faster. And behind that, there's a Ferrari of Jack. Starting his lap this time, Polo God's actually retired from the session, along with someone else.
It's 2.5 tenths up.
Ooh, F1 driver struggling on the grip there. Behind that, Axe up to P6, and we have Arlane going through the chicane. Whoa, a little bit sideways for Arlane. Now Rizone coming to the line this time. We have a Mercedes coming to the line. That's ABS Jarv. Goes faster than Bama Outlaw, and to the line this time for Rizone. Is it pole position? We saw a great qualifying last week. This time, what is it going to be? It's pole! 120.1 for Rizone. Axe
next up is Arlane.
P4 for Axe.
It was Axe first.
And Arlane
provisional pole.
78 1,000. Now John gets his turn to the line too. Where
John
does he
up on his
stand?
time, so don't rule him out.
Oh,
my
P2
goodness.
front row. Danny goes P4. And then behind that, Mr. Boker,
Boker.
don't count him out. Do not count him out. To the line, Boker, not enough.
Yes, I've done it. He's 7.
He's 7. Oh my God. F1 driver, 4th.
F1 driver. What a qualifying.
Ferrari behind. This ain't over yet. Jack, where can he stand compared to the rest of the field? To the line, P13. And behind that, Felipe trotting around. And it is our lane ahead of John and ahead of Rizone. That's the front 3. What an amazing qualifying session that was.
Oh, I think we turned back to the action right at the exact moment. Look at that, 3 drivers within a 10th of a second for the top 3. This could be anyone's race. Strategy is a big part of Australia, with an undercut being crucial.
Boker with his DRS failure back in 8th. Can he charge his way through the field? I mean, our lane, he had an issue here in another league I commentated, ARL. He had an issue on the restart, leading the safety car restart. And things change with him and Rizone. Great qualifying session for him, along with John. Amazing qualifying session from the Red Bull team with Skin and 5th. Milo, how about you go down the lineup this time?
Oh, it's on pole position for the first time in that permanent hot seat, with John taking a surprise front row. Rizone would have loved to get pole, but he manages 3rd with F1 driver in 4th. Danny Sketit is in 5th place, the first of the 2 finished drivers today. Rapper Lucas all the way down to 6th, unfortunately, with GSR Act 7th. Mr. Boker, who has a huge championship lead, down in 8th. Was it Felipe in 9th, and then Atlantis in 10th by 1,000 second, I think that was, to Polo behind him. Whew.
Wow. I think we got that out of our breath, man. Oh my God, that's insane what we saw right there in that qualifying session. What an insane qualifying session. This was insane. I keep saying it again. John on the front row, Red Bull, turning things around. Can Red Bull get their first win in ARL? Red Bull, the only team yet to win in ARL. Is this their chance today with Danny and John?
I'd love them to do it, to be honest. It's quite an annoying stat to have when you know your team is yet to win. I'm sure they'll be determined to do it. 2nd and 4th, I believe they're starting. And I'm not going to do a Rizone, and I'm going to go and change my batteries quickly while during this loading phase.
Alrighty. I was just gonna say too. With this race, Red Bull has had some bad luck in the other tiers. Tier 2 with Riles and Adam Fav. They actually sit in a decent position with the last race of Australia in Tier 2, the constructors' innings. They did pretty decent with how they lined up and how they finished in that race. So things should change a lot. Medium tires for Bama Outlaw, Norris, and Jack. P4, P10 for Toro Rosso, you mentioned, yes, or P3 actually. Anyway, I'm gonna go over my ones to watch. What, I don't even know who I'm gonna pick to watch at this point. This was an amazing qualifying session. Anyway, I think our lane, one of the favorites for sure, leading this race at the start, having the front row and having pole position. That's gonna matter here. This track is so hard to pass. This track is so hard, and that chicane, our lane, he's just gotta manage everything he can. He can maybe win this race. Back in P8, Mr. Boker, 5 in a row. Is it today? I mean, he had a DRS failure in qualifying. Things to start this 5 in a row train does not look too well, but today things can easily change with Mr. Boker. Can it be 5 in a row for Renault? Can they extend the constructors lead they have? We'll have to find out. Anyway, back around P2, John. Have to go with my American guy. I'm telling you. Doing great this race. Already showed pace in his practice session with the Red Bull team, and he is on the front row. How will things go for him? Red Bull gets their best start so far in this league. No, Red Bull gets their best start of the season in this league. In Tier 1. No. They had a pole in Bahrain. I'm messing myself up. Anyways, John had a pole in Bahrain, and maybe he can convert that into a win today. Milo, who are your 3 favorites?
Well, yeah, I'm just here now, so I don't know who you said, to be honest. I couldn't hear any of that.
Arlene, John, and Boker.
Alright, we'll go with Axe. You know, he had a really good qualifying and is right within the mix of the front guys. Rap Lucas in front of him. Honestly, he is looking quick as well, so do not rule him out for trying an undercut strategy and jumping ahead of some of these guys. And we'll go for someone near the back. We'll go for DW. He did not qualify for whatever reason. He didn't have a qualifying ban. Maybe it's just a really conservative strategy.
5 red lights upon us here in Australia, and here we are ready to go this time. 5 red lights, and away we go in Australia. John got a better start in a side by our lane. Into turn 1, the Red Bull dips behind the Alfa Romeo, and they're side by side. John ahead into turn 1 and out of turn 2. In the back, TSR Norris dropping a few positions. Along with them, our lane locking up, making a mistake in our zone around the outside of F1 driver. Boker actually losing a few positions on the first lap already.
Down to 10th, as you say. Something happens.
Yellow flag.
Oh, it's tax.
Oh no! A missing front wing. No safety car, no VSC just yet. Danny Skedden trying to go side by side with F1 driver. Going to cut the back of him, make a spin.
It was never really an overtaking opportunity. The door closed, and you can get caught out by those things.
Here we go. Felipe and Rapalucas into the chicane, side by side this time. Who's going to get the advantage?
Days.
Felipe around the outside, that was. Oh my god. Amazing. Mr. Boker trying on Atlantis. Down the inside. Side by side. And it's still side by side. They're keeping it wheel to wheel. They're clean racing here. Side by side heading into the little hairpin. And I think that's Atlantis still staying ahead of Mr. Boker.
Atlantis was complaining of low grip, so it's good that he's, you know, elbows out to the current champion leader. What a first lap from John. Hats off to him.
Can we see a first-time winner again today? I mean, John, he showed amazing practice and he showed amazing pace in practice, and we're side by side with F1 driver in Rizone. Now Axe has got a 5-second penalty, and side by side for P3, F1 driver still stays ahead of Rizone, and there's a little bit of contact. Yeah, the Red Bull team, they practice this weekend. They're one of the teams who practice now every weekend. And we had, John, he said in the Red Bull chat, I did an amazing lap in quali. Can he get this into the race? And he showed in qualifying that this is the pace he has. Can he turn this into a win today? And Mr. Boker, the day he tries to go 5 in a row, doesn't look like it right now, but hey, don't count him out just yet.
Not just yet.
Oh, DW! Into a spin! DW spun out again. In the early part, and Rizone out of the race. Out of the race goes Rizone. Out of the chicane. And that really is gonna suck for him.
Safety car, full caution.
This is gonna change things.
I bet Boker, he is punching the air right now.
He's happy now. Rizone rages out of the session with disappointment for Toro Rosso. Rizone, if I pull up the point standings here quickly, just the way it looked, Rizone was P4 in the standings. He could easily get past now at this point.
He's complaining of shoved off the track. We'll have to see about that.
Yeah.
Some people have pit.
Well, pitting for Atlantis, Norris, DW, and I would expect maybe Axe if he didn't pit already. Axe is pitted already, never mind. Axe having trouble at the start of this race. That's Thrasher Square in the chat. Anyway, medium tires for Jack, already up to P7 on those medium tires, along with Bama Outlaw. An F1 driver pitted under that safety car also from P3. Gonna allow Boker to get up to P5, so things get a little bit easier for Boker this time. John really showing the pace. You know, I know I can always be a little bit biased to the Americans in the league. I know I can be with mentioning them a lot during stream, but we've never. I mean, we've had a British winner in Tier 1, a European winner. We've had it all in Tier 1. We've yet to have an American winner. Is John the first today? That's my question, because we always have the assumption sometimes of Americans maybe not being as well at F1, maybe not having always the pace compared to the other drivers. But John, I don't want to curse him, obviously, and I feel like I am good just by saying this right now, but he's running strong right now. Is today the day where that record of no American winner in Tier 1 changes?
It will only change if he nails every single lap from now. He has to remain consistent because it's a really, really hard track to overtake. So keep that Haas behind him, avoid getting penalties, hit at the correct time, and he's got it sealed. No, there's no reason why he shouldn't lose his position.
Okay, I'm trying to fix the graphics on the stream because there's an issue with them. Just give me a moment here under the safety car. Apologize for that. But anyways, what about that first few laps though, Milo? That was insane, though, what we saw.
Great, aggressive racing off the start. Track position is so important, so I really don't blame people for trying the odd side. Is obviously one of the cleaner tiers, with it being the fastest as well. So there is no shock to see those extra risks being taken on the first lap.
Yeah, and I'm honestly very shocked with how we saw John take the race lead. Obviously, we saw, I mean, I've commentated a race here before, ARL, where there was a safety car incident. That's a big Insta logo. Yes, it is. I don't know why Insta logo's on there, but that's fine. I'm just trying to adjust things because it shouldn't really always be on there, but yeah, I just was trying to fix that because I'd gone over the points for a second. It wouldn't let me go back, so I was just trying to fix that right now. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get meme done for that one, I know. Anyway, safety car, is it coming in this lap or is it not? I don't think so this lap. Obviously, GSRX is not caught up yet, so I don't think the safety car would go without him. But the way it's looking right now, it's for sure interesting. Well, a little bit of a break under the safety car, right? I mean, we have kind of the break from the good racing we saw. John taking the lead in the first lap. I did not think we'd see someone get a better start than our lane.
That's a late goal. Safety car in. That's surprising. Well, let's get ready.
Okay, then. I was ready to talk some more.
Yeah.
Anyway, John leading the safety car restart as of right now. Our lane right now is lagging a little bit.
Oh
More than
no,
a little bit, that is.
lag.
And John gets going as Arlene runs to the back of him. And Jarv gets a collision penalty with DW as we go back to the green flag. We are back racing in Melbourne. Side by side for second. Felipe gets by, keeps it ahead. Arlene really struggling for grip now. Oh!
Whoa.
Into the barrier. And Arlene has spun and is out of the session.
And there goes the pulsator.
Two of our favorites out of this race already. Out. Completely out of this race. Don't know if Arlene had any contact or anything that happened to him, but for sure it's something you don't want to see. At the far back of this pack, DW trying to charge on Jarv, and this far back of the pack, 12th, 13th, 14th, all battling, but up toward the front. Rabalukas and Boker, we love to see this battle. Can they go side by side again? How will things go? Lag lane is gone, yes, I hear it. Our lane was Lag City, yeah.
He was fine and then just turned to lag once the safety car went back in.
That's true. He was doing fine. I mean, we didn't see any issues. Polo God now challenges for P5, P4 around that area of the positions. F1 driver gets by Bam Outlaw for a position. You don't always want to battle people too much in this racetrack because you could easily lose so much time. This racetrack, we saw the battle for the race lead between Beatnik and Pluto. They were losing time, but just not enough for it to go to the catch. John leads this lap and leads the race as of right now and has the lead over Felipe. Right now, it's completely different with the teams. We have 6 different teams in the top 6. Oh, give the penalty. So the constructor standings, that should for sure looks to change in Polo. Yeah, he has his gear glitch. Okay, that's awesome lag. I did not expect that from Axe, from that internet. But anyway, for the race lead, John stays ahead of Felipe for the time being, and ERS is being better managed by Felipe right now. How key is that?
It is. Well, it's key because most of this track is spent at high speed. You've got turn 1, turn 2, very high speed, brought onto another DRS straight. The flat out section towards the end of sector 1, you've got this section of track, past chicane. There's a lot of places where you can easily be tempted to drain a lot of ERS. John could easily, push like this, but he will be under pressure with DRS from Felipe very shortly.
For sure, DW and Atlantis go side by side. T.S. Norris did get past Alabama Outlaw there. Can I turn off Axis Xbox? Square says. Oh. I mean, that's up to you. I'd love to see video of it after, just to see how funny it would be if it happens. But nah, they don't need. Oh, you don't have to. Oh man, that was pretty close. DW had to check up from that. Anyways, Danny gets by Graham for position down in P8.
DW. That was a late lunge.
Side by side here for 13th, 14th, 15th. Still side by side for the fast right-hander between DW and Atlantis. Oh, Atlantis is the back of him. And it is still close as Axe challenges for this position. DW a little bit sideways, and it's going to go almost around. Saving the race car before this race lead. For this race lead now, Felipe gaining on John for position. We've not really checked penalties yet. I don't think we need to just yet, but John hopping over the curbs. And so is Felipe. Boker challenging Rapalucas. Boker, I know it's early in the race, but I've got a question. Does Boker still challenge up there for a position? Does DRS fail again? Who knows with what we see right now.
Maybe if he had a better qualifying lap, the first lap, so obviously he was affected by a DRS failure. That's probably why he had a slower ending lap, because he didn't get a good banker in. That'll probably be why. Look at this though, all the top 4 within 4 seconds now.
Well, now Boker is gaining on Rapalucas and for position. Rapalucas don't have DRS, but Boker might try it down the inside this time. No, just not enough. Yeah, Boker said he's not really good at this racetrack, we said from post-race interviews last week. Let's see how that really turns out. T.S. Norris going side by side with JSE Graham. Still going side by side between the two, pinching each other, and Graham still stays ahead. Well, the two Ferraris were near each other. We don't want to see Leclerc, Vettel, right? Well, Jack stays ahead of Sam Steed. And now Danny goes down the inside, side by side for position. Sam goes off the racetrack. Now F1 driver is going to challenge the outside. And Sam gets passed by 2 people right there.
That's unfortunate. It could easily happen in such a demanding track.
Well, now that race lead still 3/10 between each other. But now Rapalucas has got himself into DRS, so this is what's going to change things with Boker. If Boker gets by him, how do things change? F1 driver side by side with Danny for P7. Danny gets back ahead. And F1 driver switch back down the inside, around the outside now. And side by side, F1 driver having the advantage, just like we saw with P-Nick around the outside. And
someone's
pitting.
Too good of a pit. Sam McGraham.
For this race lead, he gets close again. Felipe close to John. John leading this race. It would be an amazing story to see him win this race, coming in the league just like he did. We didn't really see him have the pace. He struggled in the first few races. He just said, I need to catch a break. And right now what we're seeing, he caught a break at the start of this race. Can he keep the momentum throughout the whole race?
He's defending very well.
Ooh, oh! There they go. T.S. Norris, ABS Jarv, into the wall.
That's another racing point with no wing. It's the VSC.
Okay, has to hate that because he was just about to pass John right there. Just about to.
And it also allows John to save some ERS, which he was much lower on. Just look at the difference on the telemetry.
Yeah, Felipe's got a lot saved, so does Rapalucas, Boker, but challenge on having the lowest right now, and he's got to save for sure if he wants to keep this race lead. He can't back off too much. You don't want to get a drive-through anyway. You know, obviously the glitch might be happening, but obviously you don't want to back up the pack too much to catch Rapalucas and Boker up, because you know Boker's won the last 4 races. Rapalucas, last season's champion. Felipe actually dives in the pits! For hards, I think this is. And so does the guys behind him. Oh, they're trying to maybe get an overcut or undercut on the guys who pitted earlier in this race. Hards.
Hards are very good race tyres. No surprise to see them because Felipe's on mediums.
Oh, yeah. An ABS jar, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But now that gap between those three, John maybe could save some more ERS for this. Jack close to Polo, guy for P2. And you also have behind that Atlantis, Axe, and Bama Outlaw battling. And TS Norris, ABS jar, both who had damage on that VSC of what caused it. They both pitted from that whole situation. Jack getting close to Polo God for position now for P2 down the inside. Ooh, dives it back down. And Polo God might try to switch back. Polo God might get the advantage into the chicane. Will it be enough though? Not enough. Behind that, Boker and Rapalucas. Felipe's actually got a big undercut on these guys with how early he pitted. And that's VSC kind of 2.1 seconds he's ahead. But on those mediums, I want to mention we saw we saw Beatnik yesterday go a long way on mediums. 20 laps.
He did very well.
Maybe he watched the Tier 2 race. Maybe he saw that.
Yep.
Maybe he's taking that into consideration today.
John
hit down the inside. Oh! Flipping Rapalucas. He clipped Rapalucas just a little bit, and there was contact between the two.
No damage, though.
John definitely had to pit after this, for sure. And yeah, Boker doesn't have any damage, luckily, from that. I think we're all glad about that one. Axe also pits from that position. John, who also saw the Tier 2 race yesterday, he's going to mediums, too. Yellow flag. Yes, for Norris. But he does get ahead of Rapalucas and Boker, though.
But another VSC. Keep on coming.
Yes.
Oh, that would have been perfect for John.
Oh, he is probably got to be one of the most pissed people right now because he is not going to be happy. TS Norris out of the session through the pit lane right now already. Yeah, this VSC gives people a break, but it definitely doesn't give John a break to try to get as far as ahead as Rapalucas as he can. Not far enough ahead for sure that he wants to be, but he's trying to get ahead as much as he can. Boker trying to gain a Rapalucas and get that position before the VSC ends. VSC should be ending pretty soon. And DRS enabled, and here we go. Still sitting out on these soft and medium tires. Bama Outlaw, Jack, Polo God, and Danny Skedit. But for position, Boker still trying to gain a Rapalucas. Rapalucas going to lose time to John. Ooh, hops over the curb right there. 8/10 back. And now Boker with enough ERS gaining. And John actually got some chance to save some ERS there. So it probably benefited him a little bit as Polo God does pit. Is he going for the mediums like everyone else is? We saw Axe on the mediums, DW on the mediums, Axe getting a penalty right as I say that. Danny also pitting. What tires do they go for? They go for mediums. Polo God goes for mediums. Everyone saw Beatnik try yesterday. Kind of using the Tier 2 races in a little kind of test for them to what to do in Tier 1. And now F1 driver gets ahead of his teammate Polo God. And behind that in the background, Sam Steed ahead of Graham still. And behind that, Axe, DW, and Jarv. All close. And all in the back. 15 drivers left in this race. With 12 laps in. Graham gets a penalty.
I think Racing Point will need a new driver.
Yeah, it's looking like it. It's looking similar to the Gasly situation. They might need a trade Silent to Tier 1. I mean, he's had the bad luck in Tier 2, but hey, he's shown the pace. Norris not necessarily too much. Maybe Axe might trade in a reserve or someone. Danny Skedit might be probably the preferred reserve considering the luck he's had so far. Jack maybe when he comes to Ferrari.
Atlantis has already pit, so technically he's in the net lead of this race.
Oh, did not realize that. He's on the hards. He's looking to go the rest of the way. Way? Well, Boker getting on Rapalucas. Yeah, Boker actually getting on Rapalucas here. Rapalucas clipped the grass a little bit. Boker overdrove the corner. I got told by Sam Steed, I believe it was Sam Steed, in the chat that, oh, Felipe, fastest lap. Boker has actually had issues at least every time he's raced here. John actually takes that right back over in forward position. Atlantis gaining on Alabama Outlaw, forward position. And now, where does he go? He goes down the inside. It is pretty close between the two. Felipe is watching this happen, and Atlantis gets ahead of Bama. And Bama tries to charge back down the inside, but not enough.
McLaren. Oh! Brake touch him! There's damage! There's certainly damage!
Boker also getting a Rapalucas. Boker right in the back of Rapalucas for a position. Last season's champion and this championship leader right now. P6. As you focus on that, we're focusing on this because for what could be the race lead if a safety car comes out or anything that happens later in this race. Boker locking up. Yeah, there surely has to be damage on Felipe's car, and they're
It was a blatant brake. It was a blatant brake check. I cannot believe that.
We saw teammate collisions between yourself, Milo Gaming, and GSR Hamilton yesterday. Today it was
that.
Today it's the McLaren team.
Yeah, it happens. So it does happen in sport, and it can get heated.
Yeah, it easily can
Jack
happen.
hits.
Speed.
Oh no.
You should see Bama pit this time. No, actually not. Wow, surprised. John gaining on Felipe though. Felipe does have damage, so John cannot get pulled. Oh, and Quinn Houth and Data Lucas, that's right, too. Felipe battling John. John stays behind, but John definitely don't want to get held here. Behind him, Boker getting on Rapalucas. Fastest lap for Danny. Yeah, you don't want to be held behind Felipe because he has damage, and now that gap is 1.7 seconds. John to the outside. Felipe charges back at it. John to the inside.
Brilliant move.
John is by and watches in the background. Rapalucas starting to creep and gain on these guys. Now, does Felipe hold Rapalucas and Boker up if anything happens? That was definitely weird with the two teammates, Felipe and Bama.
Everything's just kicked off all of a sudden. I don't believe it. No, I'm still speechless. Alabama Outlaw needs to be more spatially aware.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to let him go, but Felipe was already trying to enter the corner the right way. He didn't know, maybe. Obviously, definitely being in the party would have helped with each other. You know, I don't know if they are in the party, but that might change things, you know, not being in the same party as someone. Boker a little bit sideways off the curb, and now Rapalucas gaining on Felipe. The gap is 1.5 between them and John. This might be what the race lead could be, because think about it. Atlantis in this race lead, but I don't know if he'll be able to go the rest of the way. He's definitely trying a bold strategy that I would not expect anyone to try whatsoever, but Atlantis, he has to try something. He's yet to have a podium in ARL. He's been here since the start. Atlantis, he got cost that podium in Italy, if we remember back then. Boker getting in Rapalucas. These three, the big three, gaining on each other and battling. Rapalucas tries to charge into turn one, not enough for a move. Boker is close. Now, Felipe staying ahead, Rapalucas enabling Gear S. And now into turn three, Rapalucas gaining. Where does he go? He goes down the inside. On Felipe, it's going to go a little bit wide. And now Boker challenges. Boker's ahead. Behind that, the two teammates, Polo God and F1 Driver. Polo God stays behind.
This is penalty.
Boker! 5 in a row will not happen today because Boker has spun it. And the fast right-hander. This is championship
I don't
implications.
believe this.
I don't
love
believe what's going
Australia.
on. I thought this was going to be the most boring race of the season. I thought this was going to be the most boring race of the season. We're changing our minds different. Now, F1 Driver gaining a Rapalucas, though. Did Rapalucas and Boker make contact? Now, these two have history. Let's see how this goes. Rapalucas trying to gain on Felipe. Now, F1 Driver challenges. Oh, no. Oh, no.
He's gone for the outside.
Oh, these two making contact again. Side by side. Rapalucas stays ahead. These two great action between them. Felipe still staying ahead. And Polo God challenges behind this. Oh my God.
John for the lead. The last is defending.
Behind that, Rapalucas gaining on Felipe. Rapalucas down the inside. And Rapalucas is ahead. Now F1 Driver challenges Felipe. Felipe challenges him. Rapalucas
for the lead. No.
Atlantis by John.
Atlantis.
Wow. F1 Driver by Felipe around the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact. Polo God tries it. What an amazing battle. 4 cars under a blanket here. This is an amazing battle, and Danny and Jack try to join in. Polo got
Probably gets a
penalty.
penalty though. Brilliant helicopter cam I've got. Oh, he's
Oh
gone
my
for it
God.
around the
Oh,
outside.
ooh. Polo runs to the back
What?
of him. Now Danny's going to challenge Polo. Polo is an amazing battle, and he's in such a bad position, though. As F1 driver, it's his turn to gain on Rapalucas. Boker can he even challenge back if a safety car comes out. What will happen for Boker? Now for the race lead, Atlantis gets passed by John, and Atlantis charges back at it. Atlantis side by side, not giving an inch. Side by side, both Honda racing cars, and Atlantis around the outside, getting it sideways. DW gets a penalty, and John around the outside. Oh my God! And Felipe, something's happened to him because he is pitting. Does Boker have damage? Good question. Find out. Yes, no, he doesn't. And Felipe retires from the session. He's definitely angry with what happened. Now it gives Boker maybe a free position, but F1 driver around the outside of Rapalucas. Side by side. Forced him off the racetrack.
I knew there wasn't going to be an inch there.
No, you definitely knew for sure. There was no way there was going to be. If you expect an inch, you're no longer thinking of a racing driver move.
3 quick drivers out of this race though, Felipe, ARL, and Rizal. 3 we expected to be going for the win, and instead it's John leading from Atlantis. Who would have thought that?
With Alabama Outlaw holding these guys up, this is going to allow John Atlantis to maybe pull away. Think about this. It's going to be John Atlantis for the win, possibly. And Atlantis, will those hards hold out the rest of the race? Now, for position F1 driver, it's going to do a double overtake just like Italy. Down the inside, back at it again. Forcing Rapalucas off the track just a little bit. And contact, Bama, into a wall. And contact with Polo again. Oh my God, what racing have we seen again? Bama spun it out again. Down to P12. We've seen some amazing racing here. Boker 4 seconds back. F1 driver Rapalucas though. What an amazing scrap that was. You did not expect an inch. And you expected the rivalry to continue? Yeah, you did for sure. And it has. 19 viewers now. Oh my God. They're loving it. They're loving it. You're tuning into this race, you're loving it. That's all I gotta say.
If you want to rewatch, it'll be on the YouTube for the next couple of days because it's definitely worth rewatching if you've only just joined us on lap 18 of 29.
Yeah, so just to recap a few things, if you're just joining us, Norris out of the race, Felipe out of the race, Arlene and Rizone, all DNFs from them. Felipe already retiring, had wing damage from Bama. DW's had a spin, Axis had issues. Boker had a spin. Our most recent winner for the past 4 times. Danny's gaining on F1 driver gaining on Atlantis. And
Danny's
is this
on the
F1 driver?
Tires.
Yeah, is this F1 driver's chance though to maybe get to John?
Hang on.
He has to get past Atlantis.
Don't rule out a Red Bull 1-2 here. They've never won. They might just get themselves a 1-2. This has gone.
Oh
wow.
My God. And like me and you talked about before this race, if this is the race Boker doesn't win, expect a new winner in this league, and also expect this to be the race where it's going to be great. This is insane. F1 driver gaining on Atlantis now, and behind that, Polo got on Rapalucas. Not enough for position. Axe and Graham gaining on Sam Seed, but Axe is going to try it down the inside this time. Which way does he go?
Outside.
Left side this time. For position, Atlantis F1 driver. Atlantis making contact with F1 driver. And now Danny around the outside.
Oh
just
my
like
day.
Nick. F1 driver back at it.
Driver.
This race is shit. No, it's not.
This race, man.
No.
Just
That's
salty, guys. Come on.
Come on, useless elephant.
Danny's got
gets
himself a penalty.
Anyway, that gap between the race lead, 3.9. So even if F1 driver has a chance, will we even see a late race safety car? Now Danny gaining on the back of F1 driver to the inside. Side by side. Now Danny gets ahead, and F1 driver charges back at it down the inside, forcing his way through, and he is through. Oh my God.
Look at this. 6 cars is this in a train? All for P2 in this race. Come on, guys. Queue up. We want more.
Yeah, this is the perfect race to have a train. I thought France was, but this is insane. Polo got gaining on Rapalucas, and also Danny gaining on F1 driver, but Atlantis is trying to hold himself off for his first podium, and Danny trying to gain for his first podium, along with Polo guy trying to make it 2 podiums in the season, and Jack also trying it, but F1 driver cannot get by Atlantis. Oh, man. Oh, James, Boker's not winning, therefore the race is bad. Yeah, there you go. Oh, F1 driver on the grass. Down the inside, Danny goes.
Oh.
6 cars really within 1.5 seconds. This is insane to see. Now,
This is
side by
really
side.
defending from Atlantis.
Oh, again. Graham gets a penalty, and Atlantis still keeps the position. How is he
Here comes
defending
Danny
like
to
this?
the outside.
How is he defending like this? Danny tries to challenge, and so does F1 driver, following him to the chicane.
Atlantis
Oh,
has
here goes
every
Danny.
right to defend.
F1 driver gets to the hop, and there's contact. They collide.
There's some
There's
damage there.
contact.
Big damage.
F1 driver making a questionable move. Now Jack around the outside. Rapalucas, last season's champion. Around the outside, making contact. They're
And he
side by
goes
side,
wide,
3 wide. Oh my God. Rapalucas goes wide. Now 3 wide again for a moment. Danny pits.
Danny pits. There goes the red 1-2 then. I'm sorry, that's my curse. Sorry.
Oh my God. What have we seen so far? This has been incredible,
Oh, my
this
fault.
race. The F1 driver, definitely a questionable move with Danny pinching the way he did. Definitely costing them both. And I mean, I'm kind of pinching the way both of them did. It was definitely questionable. Now F1 driver gaining on Atlantis again. Atlantis trying to hold up for his first podium. Let's check some penalties. John has completely nothing.
F1. Oh! Atlantis ran wide. They are side by side for P2 again.
Atlantis still holds on to it.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, this is insane defending. I'm insane. Not your fault, Milo. Utah.'s fault. F1's fault. Yeah. Atlantis still keeps ahead there, protecting all he can, but now F1 driver is trying it around the outside of him. This might be the race to win for some of these guys in Bama in the pit lane. 5 retirements already. Rapalucas also trying to follow Jack. Jack gaining on these guys. This race, this is the right race to have a DRS train. This is the right race. Cheering on Jack for Ferrari, Burning Man says, well, side by side between F1 driver and Atlantis. They're still side by side. Atlantis might get through. F1 driver around the outside. Yellow flag. Down
Jack!
the inside, Jack. Oh, and
Atlantis
double
has lost 2
overtaken.
positions.
A double overtaken. Atlantis has got.
Atlantis only has 1 warning. Jack has a
Polo
5-second time penalty.
And Rapalucas. Oh, Atlantis squeezes Polo God and damage for Polo.
Oh my days.
Oh. Atlantis.
Here comes Boker.
Now it's definitely questionable. Boker, yeah, this ain't over. He might get a podium, and now making contact with Polo. Polo definitely still struggling now with damage. Axe gaining on same Steed 4 position. This has been insane. Danny by ABS Jarv. Oh, wow. What have we seen? F1 driver with a penalty already. Oh, yeah. Jack with a 5-second penalty he had earlier. Rapalucas has warnings, so he might be in the podium. Atlantis J20 has just 1 warning. Boker has a penalty. So, things ain't over. Penalties
Jack has
decide
another
this for
penalty.
sure. Oh, boy.
That's 8 seconds. That was a blatant cut.
Didn't get to see that. My apologies there in the stream. But, again, with this race lead, John, amazing pace. We need to talk to him after this race for sure. What an insane race it's been for him. Took the lead on lap 1. He's kept it since, really.
Oh, it's contact.
John, what he's done for this, I'm very happy to say he's joined. I'm surprised. You know, I've talked to him. I know his pace. He, if anything, he was one of the very first to start commentating with me. So I'm definitely going to be happy to see him get this race win today, if he does. And Polo got pits with his wing damage. He's going to have to bet on the late race safety car. If John does win this, though, I would be happy because he started with me with commentary. He kind of helped me. He was teammates with me in the league. Got me the Constructors Championship in the league with him. And the thing is, he started out with me with all the stuff. You know, thing is, oh, Boker and Atlantis. Atlantis pinching to the grass. Oh. Yeah, I mean, think about it. It's like, you know, he kind of started out with me, and it's like, now with this, he's racing in this league. Came in season 2, the start of the season, has had some bad luck. Got a 5th place finish in France, never had a podium. Nor is Jack. He's running the podium position. Atlantis might get this off of penalties. He's never had a podium. So, things could easily change here. F1 driver could be easily penalized. Who knows what things could be like.
Exit by Boker, who's got the move well before the corner.
Lap 23 coming to 24. 6 laps to go this time. 20 people watching at one point in the stream. Most for tier 1 in a single stream. So obviously we broke some records this weekend. Again with viewers. So I'm happy about that. Happy about this weekend. It's been a record weekend for ARL for sure in Australia. At a new racetrack in ARL. Never came to here before. So obviously definitely a lot of records. But 5.5 seconds is that gap. F1 driver doesn't look to be gaining too much. But obviously, I hate to say it, and I know I'm going to curse it, a late safety car will change things if it happens. It will. It for sure will. We've seen 3 VSCs in like 1 safety car already, maybe 2 VSCs. So anything could change. Danny, fastest lap for him on those soft tires. This, I have to say, this has been the best race of the season so far. So far. And not just because Boker crashed, but yeah, at this track. Yeah. If you don't want to curse it, then don't say it. You have to say something. I mean, gotta find something to say, right?
You have to speculate. That's what the media do.
Yeah. Kind of like with the F1 driver Rob Lucas stuff. You gotta, you know, assume, oh, hey, this could happen this race. You know what? Blah blah blah. You know, obviously, with that, you know, it's like those two went wheel to wheel. Those two made contact. Those two had a great battle, for sure. And Rapalucas might have a chance at podium as the F1 driver does have a penalty, and Jack also has a penalty. So with Jack's 5 seconds and with that 3 seconds, this doesn't allow Atlantis or Boker to get on the podium. Atlantis has 2 warnings. Boker has a penalty, but Atlantis needs to stay with Boker if he wants to have the chance to maybe get the podium. Atlantis really struggling now. Same seat close to Axe. Polo God gets by Jarv, and now for P3, P2 challenges here with 5 laps to go. Oh man, what a race this has been. 5.0 seconds, that gap is between the race lead between F1 driver and John. F1 driver did have contact with Danny. How will the swords review it? Don't know, we'll find out. I mean, in the end, I would say things can easily change how it gone, but F1 driver faster than Boker in time trial at this track. You know, definitely we might have saw his race. We might have saw Arlene's race at first. But with the qualifying from John, with the pace from him, probably his best track. I talked to him a week ago about this, and I talked to him, you know what, maybe his best track, we think so. With the way it's looking, he's cruising out in the race lead, but it ain't over till it's over. I'm telling you right now, it ain't over. Anything could happen. The safety car come out. Same laps as Bahrain. Lap 26 was the lap in Bahrain we had a safety car. Don't really assume John's going to win it. Yeah, I know I'm trying to, but hey, you don't know yet. You don't know what could happen. ABS driver is actually out of the session now. Retiring from the game. So, that will not bring out a safety car. Might bring out a VSC, but doesn't look like it'll bring out a safety car. It's on the racetrack, but yeah. It's just manually retired.
John with no warnings this entire race. That is just incredible. Another penalty for F1 driver. That's his second penalty.
And now Rapalukas might challenge back at a podium for this. And think about it, Boker, he does have a penalty, but Atlantis needs to stay within striking distance of him. And I think Boker could be on the podium from this. If what he's done through this race, what he's had go through, I mean, it's insane to think about that. Insane for sure.
Pulled a me.
Bahrain, yeah, there you go. Definitely many struggles for him. And that changes things for this race. Well, if you're just tuning in, lap 26 of the Australian Grand Prix, John leading this race. I'm telling you right now, those mediums, you know, definitely might get passed by the hards pretty soon, but they're looking fine. And I mean, but look at the gap between the race lead, 3.9 seconds. And think about F1 driver does have penalties, but behind that, Rapalukas is still in that train of cars. Jack has the 5 seconds he has and another penalty. That's a total of 8 seconds. F1 driver has 2 penalties, which is 6 seconds. Rapalukas has just 2, 3 warnings. Boker has a penalty, so 6 seconds, 3 seconds, 8 seconds. Atlantis has nothing. Atlantis could get a position, but he just needs to gain on these guys. He's losing so much time now. Now his defending really changed it. I mean, he looked like he was on for podium. Just like Axe last week. Axe looked like he was on for a podium, but he wasn't. And we saw it happen. Danny gets past the ground.
Atlantis is lapping in a 1 minute 27. So that's just how worn those tyres are now.
Oh,
there is
flag.
a
DW.
Flag. Oh, sweet. Got damage.
Now this gap between the race lead changes. 3.4 seconds. Can John hold on for Red Bull's first win in ARL? Can he hold on for what looks like American winning in the first time for Tier 1? We've never seen that. We've always seen it in Tier 2, Tier 3. Axe takes a penalty. A little bit sideways for F1 driver. Axe getting on Atlantis. Grand by DW. Now, Rapid Lucas gains on Jack also. Jack kind of lost time to F1 driver now. Those mediums still keeping temperature and keeping probably as much as they could. Atlantis did good defending, but those tires are too worn now. Yeah, 24 laps. Will he keep it on the track? And will he ever have a puncture or spin through the chicane? Because those tires could be too worn to make it through the chicane. I've seen many people miss the chicane because of it. And, you know, spin through there. Axe goes to the outside. Atlantis defends again on worn tires. Axe around the outside. Atlantis forcing him off just a little bit. And it stays positioned now. Boker gaining on Rapalucas, while Rapalucas gains on Jack. And John, 2 laps to go for him. Is this Red Bull's first win in ARL? We'll have to find out within a few laps. 2 laps to go.
Yes, so Axe going for the move on Atlantis.
F1 driver's had a mistake.
Capitalizing. Oh!
F1 driver's got damage and spun it! He spun it, and now this is going to give the chance for other people to take that podium away as Rapalucas on the podium on track, but Boker challenges, and now Graham is actually out of the race. Was there contact with someone else?
What on earth is going on?
Well, we've had 6 retirements. We might have a 7th with F1 driver, but F1 driver's got to keep it on track if he wants to have a good position. He just ran in the back of Jack. He made a mistake. Now, all that good work of catching John, at least based off of what we saw, is over. It's over. It is over.
And John's got to be loving that again. Another punch in the air. He's about to start the final lap, and a huge final lap.
He's just got to make it through the final lap this time. John, he's got to do all he can to win this race. He's dominated this one, really. Ever since ARL spun, he was out of contention. ARL was out of contention. We saw Rizone up front for parts of the race. We saw Felipe up front for the parts of the race. We saw a change of guys up front. Boker, Rapalucas, F1 driver, Atlantis. We saw many drivers up front, but it's John, who could be the first American to win, who could also be the first Red Bull driver to win in this league. Done amazing this race, Burning Man says, as we do reach the final lap. Sanseed is by Atlantis, though. Inside of each other for a minute. 4.9 seconds. He's just got to make it through. Obviously, it's tough for this track to make it through unworn tires. That gap keeps it the same. If he gets it through the chicane, that's I think the one corner you need to get through. Axe gaining on F1 driver, X teammates side by side. F1 driver pinching. Oh, Axe goes off the racetrack. And F1 driver gets the advantage as Sam Steed and Atlantis will catch. And through the chicane, John has to just make it through here. He makes it through cleanly. Behind that, Jack, his first race in this league. Everyone makes it through the chicane pretty cleanly. Medium tires, it's what Beatnik did yesterday. Beatnik challenged Pluto for the race win. He got P3 off of that. He did what he could. John, we've never seen an American win in ARL Tier 1. Today is the day we see it. Red Bull, first-time winners in the league. John, a new first-time winner. Boker's 5 in a row is over. John wins the Australian Grand Prix. Every team is now gone into the line. It is Boker P3. And Polo God's out.
He's at the chicane. He's blown some points.
10 finishers now. To the line. Sam Steed P5. Atlantis P5.
I was P5 for Atlantis. No denial.
Wow. race. I'm inviting the podium finishers to the party. That was insane. Amazing race for sure. DW goes through the chicane. Should be passing Polo for a points position this time. We've had 8 DNFs. Rapalucas joined the party. The podium finishers. Yep. I think I did. Alrighty. Alright. Alright. Well, Red Bull. First win for them. Boker has joined us in the post-race interviews. Boker's podium streak ain't over yet, but his win streak is now over. What a race that was, Milo. That was insane to watch, for sure.
Well, mate, well done. Congrats.
John, congratulations. Congratulations.
It isn't funny when I was on the front straight. Tried to shake the wheel. Front wheel just goes, yeah, pause the game. Just disconnects my wheel.
Oh man, what a race that was from you guys. Amazing performance from a lot of people today. Some things we did not expect. John, first to you. You know, we've seen Axe, Bama Outlaw, both Americans on podium in Tier 1 before. We've never seen a race winner who was American. You're able to say that, and how do you feel about Red Bull being the last team to win and finally getting it done with you this time? Being the last team to win an ARL. Now also
It's about damn
Make sure
time.
audio's included.
Yeah, it is. It's about damn time. Unfortunate for Felipe, because I was hearing the stream at the same time when I was racing, and hearing him, he had damage. That's unfortunate from his own teammate. That's unfortunate. I mean, he probably would have been at least first or second. But those like the last 10 laps, when I saw people retiring, I was about to shit myself because I was like, I swear, if a safety car comes out now, I'm going to fucking punch something. I was like, no, but I finally catch a break and had really good pace.
That's what you said. You needed to catch a break. Front row to a win. You got pole in Bahrain. You didn't have the best luck there after the stuff happened. You just needed a break. That's all you said. And now you finally get that break with a first race win in ARL. First time winner. How do you feel about that? And also, how did you do that? How did you get the lead off of R lane, off the start?
I mean, to be fair, I thought he got a better start, but no, he kind of bogged down more than I did. But unfortunate for him, he had a lot of lag issues behind me when the safety car race started. So it's been unfortunate for him, but no, I mean, he was, besides Felipe, he was probably right with me. I mean, if he didn't disconnect, he probably would have been battling with me all race. It's just because I mean he was all over me.
James.
So.
I know it's gonna get heated. It will.
Yeah, I know it will too.
Oh, an F1 driver as well, and Atlantis. Very clean races from them as always.
Also, I gotta thank Atlantis for actually holding up everybody behind me. No, and there's no, I didn't tell him before the race. I promise that. It's just.
Paul Rosso in it. Paul Rosso helps the Red Bull. What a surprise!
I think we need a team order investigation here.
Yeah.
Like what a coincidence that is. Like fucking
Hold up,
Atlantis.
gate.
Yeah, I've got to talk to you about that, John, because like I talked to you before about this track for you. You said your best chance to win is probably here, of course. Your best chance to do good. You do it here. The race Boker doesn't get 5 in a row. I'm gonna keep mentioning it just because.
Hallelujah.
You know, records. There you go. There you go. Either way, no. The thing is, you know, with this, I talked to you. You said you were fast in practice when you were practicing with your Red Bull team. You were practicing with them. You know, Red Bull have yet to get a win. Now they get the first win ever in this league with you. How do you feel about that?
No, it's satisfying, and it's like finally like they finally get what we deserve. So finally get a win. So
yeah.
And to be fair, I honestly thought I was gonna get some penalty, and then I actually did not get one warning. So I'm even surprised at myself for that.
How? How?
To be fair, in the race, I didn't even push in the chicane. I was so worried to just push on one lap and I was going to be in a fucking wall. So I was like, yeah, I'll just take it easy through every lap of the chicane. I mean, they had like one like little scary moment, but it really wasn't. It was just going over that exit curve, but that was really the only scary moment I had in the chicane. That was about it. But no, I take it easy. Mediums were going off at the end. Like my left rear was like at almost 70%, just from that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you watched the race yesterday with beatnik strategy. I'm sure you kind of copied that a little bit, I guess.
Well, I mean, practice, I was going to go with that, so.
Yeah, I mean, you finally catch that break. Congratulations on the win for your first win here and being the first one to break Booker's streak. So I think you'll be happy about that one too. Milo, do you have any questions for John?
Thank God.
Honestly, how on earth did you do Australia 29 laps with 0 warnings? Honestly, that was incredible.
Don't push in the chicane, basically. That's all you have to do. Don't push in the chicane.
Yep. Yeah. Can agree with that.
Congratulations on the win, and definitely first time winner now. Rapalucas, I think it's now to you. P2 for you. You battled people all race, battled F1 driver. You saw the best of you guys, sometimes the worst with pushing off the track, but overall an amazing battle. What about the contact with Bama though? I know you mentioned that. What have you got to say about that? Make sure your audio is included.
So yeah, obviously we went around him, which was really strange. And I obviously broke quite late, but I gave F1 driver space because I knew he was there. And then he sort of opened up the steering on the exit of the corner as I was already putting the power down. So obviously you naturally put the traction down in a normal kind of place. You know, you put it sort of on the exit of the corner, halfway down. And then I felt like a touch, and my rear wheel went onto the grass, and so I got a massive snap, and so obviously I had to move across the track. Like, you know, I understand if I was by myself, and I just simply spun in front of him. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that should be a penalty. But you know, when I get forced off the track and I'm already putting the traction down, then what else am I meant to do? I mean, I can't just stop. You know, I have to. I wish I had a magic stop, you know, pedal, but I don't. And so, you know, if he pushes me off the track, then yeah, I mean, it was some good battling with the F1 driver actually, to be fair. Some, you know,
yeah, it
nice,
was. We
nice
enjoyed
racing.
that.
Some
Yeah,
good racing,
I mean,
you know,
we expected it.
I gave him the big squeeze, but obviously, you know, I gave him enough space. It was a good battle actually. I enjoyed that. And then, oh my god, I feel so bad for Danny.
I saw him in fourth, and I was like, oh no. He actually gonna get second, and then I saw him off, and I'm like, no! If we somehow pulled off a 1-2, that would be the funniest thing ever.
That would
I
be
cursed it.
insane if you guys pulled off the
No,
one.
no offense to him. Here's the thing, no offense to him. He would have gone from the most hated person, in my opinion, to the most loved person to me. Because I swear, he ruined the race for me last week, and he almost made it up this week. That would have been so funny.
John, mate, don't be too disappointed in him. It was in absolutely no way, shape, or form his fault. He went for a gap that was clearly there, and F1 driver just, yeah, he closed the door on him. Like,
well, no, I'm not talking about this race. I'm talking about Singapore.
No, I know, but you said he would make it up for you in this race, but it's not his fault that he's out. But yeah,
No, I agree.
just I don't know. We need to. That one's really strange because I'm not sure what happened there really, but from what I saw, was F1
I mean, we
driver.
saw it from the commentary booth. It's like it was just a little squeeze. It was just like kind of Ocon and Perez. It was just weird how that happened, right there. Anyway, got positions off of penalties. Something you're used to doing here, Rapalucas. I mean, how do you look into Spain? It's one of your better tracks. How do you look in?
So obviously Australia's never been a sort of, I guess, great place for me. I am qualifying. I know it's going to sound really stupid, but the sun was on the braking line and the turn-in point for turn 6 and the fast chicane. So half the time we couldn't actually see where we were going. Yes, and so there was a bit of a struggle there. But yeah, the qualifying lap didn't really hook it up properly, as usual. And then I tried to recover as well as I could. And I thought John would have to pit again, and all of the medium runners. I was like, no, there's no way they're going to go to the end. But yeah, then Atlantis. Yeah, like Atlantis just put the block down. Literally, wrote him and F1 driver were like physical like chicanes in our way, and then yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, so then he slowed them down. John managed to get away, and then Jack. Jack got in front of me after Danny sort of. I don't know, it was really weird. But yeah, I was just glad to get some good positions and good points, and yeah, I'm now ahead of Felipe in the championship according to my calculations, and obviously slightly closed the gap to Boca. So all positives from this race.
Yeah, that's all you wanted to take from this, and I talked to you before the race. That's all you wanted to take from this, just some positive and just some things to happen.
Oh shit, I didn't actually answer your question. Oh, sorry. I didn't answer your question. So Spain, good, I guess. Obviously, we won't be able to absolutely annihilate the chicane like we do in DAR. But yeah, it's a good track for me. Overtaking isn't too bad. The straight's quite long, but yeah, I think it should be a good one. We'll just have to wait and see.
Congratulations on the P2 today.
Thank you, mate.
Milo, do you have any questions for Rapper Lucas?
Do you have any overall comments on that race? Because there's a lot of discussion already. Oh, that was dirty. That was, unneeded. So, what do you think of that? I know you got a good result, but everything that went on ahead and behind you, how did that impact your thoughts on today's race?
I think Lewis Hamilton said this once or something, or actually maybe it wasn't. I don't know who. Hello?
What?
Oh, silence.
Cut out.
Did you have a stroke?
Not yet, mate. Not yet. It was I think it was a Hungarian Grand Prix once. It's sort of when you see two cars go race really dirtily, it sort of sets a precedent. And when you see people squeezing each other into the wall, breaking each other's wings, brake checking each other in fast corners, it's really like you just watch it unfold in front of you, and it's really like I don't know. This won't be remembered as a very good race, I think, in terms of like for the league, because obviously I'm happy I got 18 points or whatever, but it wasn't a good race for loads of people just because of the amount of sheer incidents that we did have. Which I mean, is that the track? Is that the drivers? It's hard to tell, but yeah, obviously, a lot of crashes. So.
Yeah. Definitely was an aggressive race from a lot of people, for sure. But yeah, congratulations on your P2 again.
Thanks.
Boker, now to you. I know how tough that can be to spin like you did through the fast right-hander. I've done it before. I know the mistakes. That was Felipe. Oh.
Yeah, brake checked him.
Yeah, he completely brake checked me. I don't care if he's got a broken wing. He's supposed to pit and not just be a complete prick to people. Like, the funny thing is, he just retired in the pit lane and then left right after that. Like, come on. Like, oh my god. And that lost me the win, man, because I was ahead of Rapper finally after that. And just, But yeah, the train kind of helped me close back in, and I realised I had ABS on for the whole time because I was doing wheel practice yesterday. So I literally, I had to turn it back on in a straight, so, and then I finally just saying personal best after personal best. But
in a sec, man.
weren't enough. I just stuck behind the back at the end. I couldn't really pass anywhere.
Boker, you've got a problem, mate. ARL button. Ticket hashtag 104 opened. Subject Boker holding fast laps up. Probably wasn't him, just snaking other people as usual.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't hold up anyone, so it's absolutely so
Anyways, though, DRS failure in qualifying, you at least got P8 out of that. And with how you kind of started this race, I mean, there were, one safety car and a few VSCs. I mean, you spun out because of Felipe. I didn't get to see that, I don't think. I just saw Boker spun out on the track. I mean...
Yeah,
you at least got to be happy to come back to a podium, at least, I want to say. Because, I mean, you still keep your championship lead, at least. And don't lose as many points as you would where you were back there in 8th or 9th when you were back there.
Yeah, it's just a bit, it's really annoying, man. Like, I have these races a lot. Like, DAR yesterday, we all know what happened with our lane.
Cheers for the championship lead, by the way.
No problem. And yeah, it's just 2 bad races in one weekend. So I mean, it's still a podium, like, but it's just what could have been.
True. True.
Like, I really was like really quick, and it just didn't go to anything. Like my qualifying, that was just a mess. Well, before starting, I didn't even realise I had ABS on at the start. So like, that was another reason why I was slow, and just yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll come back
a lot
next
of things
week.
definitely changed. Yeah. I've got to ask though. Spain and Hungary next week. How do you go to those races? Because you even said last week you're not winning Australia. You're not fast here. Well, you didn't win here. I mean, how do you look into the next races, Spain and Hungary?
To be fair, I'm actually fast at Spain, but it just depends on everyone else. I'm in the 16s at time trial, but you know, time trial doesn't explain everything. It's just, I don't know, I've just got to pull up a win. I think it'll be close between me and Rapper. Maybe Felipe in the mix too, and well, hopefully he has a quali ban. And
Yeah.
Hungary, I don't really know about Hungary. I don't expect a good result unless I don't know, I don't know anyone else's pace there. I don't know my complete pace there. It's just going to be, I don't know anything about that one.
It'll probably rain, innit?
Hopefully. I don't know.
Not.
Yeah, how about you put heavy in, why not?
Yeah, heavy. Full wet conditions. Yeah, all race.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting race from you coming back to this field. Rapid Lucas battling everyone you guys did. I mean, insane race. John battling for the race lead. Battle with Arlene for a little while. I mean, it was a great race.
Oh, yeah.
overall. Probably the best race of the season. I wouldn't say the cleanest though.
Arlene was generally teleporting like an Enderman on fire.
Man's an Enderman.
I didn't clip it, but he was generally like, one time he was other end of the straight, second is all the way at the end, and then he retired. Oh, no, I'm gonna ready up for Arlene.
Hi James, you see how Felipe got damage? I think he might have hit the end bell that dropped off Arlene's car.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah. How does Arlene have 4 bars and I have 4 bars?
Oh, that's a violation. The game just violated your internet. I wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
Anyway though,
It's a quick race, but yeah, come back from it. It's still a podium. I'm not really going for wins. But I did want 5 in a row, but you know, it's at the end of the day, it's about what your rivals do compared to you. Like, I don't mind losing 3 points to Rapper. Like, as far as he wasn't. I was fighting Felipe at the time for the championship, and he says hi. I need to apologise, but we'll go to that later. But yeah, I'm rivaling Felipe at the moment, but now it's about how Rapper does, because he retired. But yeah, it's not all about wins. You've got to it's with your rivals. Like, if your rival does bad, just don't take risks. You've got to just get your result. And I could have won, but of course it just went to shit. Well, I say it went to shit, but I got a podium. But it's about how your rivals do compared to you. So now,
congratulations on the P3 though.
so, yeah, cheers. It's a 39-point lead. Like, I don't care if it's third, because I've now got a 39-point lead. Yeah.
Hey, Booker, this is GSR, and you're being kicked for being too fast.
Oh.
That's rude. Nah, I'm just kidding. But either way, congratulations on the P3. And Milo, do you have any questions for Boker?
Firstly, my battery's sorry, that's probably why you couldn't hear me for a bit. But looking beyond Spain, you've got Hungary, Austria, Britain, we go to 5 European tracks after Spain. How do you fare around the likes of Hungary and Austria? Very short circuits, but totally different in characteristics.
I like Austria because it's annoying when you're leading, but when you're the car behind, it's great. I think I can pull off something in Austria, maybe a win, but it's gonna be a DRS chain with maybe I reckon Dylan will do well. he's had a shocking start this season. I think everyone can agree.
Man spun on you straight. Again.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good battle between me and Dylan. Like, there'll be another person in that battle for sure. I have no clue who it will be. We can't count out our lane except his absolutely shocking Wi-Fi, but I hope gets
Yeah, he'll
fixed
just be
anytime
teleporting
soon.
in front of you guys too. He'll just be teleporting all the way to like Austria already.
Yeah.
He's probably in Austria.
No, he's probably like in the final race already.
Nah, he's got a VPN in his car. That's the problem. He doesn't want to be tracked.
Oh, I love the post-race interviews. That is his violations.
Oh, they're great.
But yeah, you need to sort bias into that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
really
put it
does.
a boost.
Because the last thing
Whatever
he
that will do.
is he ruins.
Yeah, I
racing
agree.
because of his internet.
Dylan put in the chat, clean racing, boys.
Typical Dylan sarcasm.
Why Joker?
Silly Dutchies.
Someone submitted a ticket.
Look at what Reese just did.
Daniel.
Ticket open, subject Daniel. Just Daniel. Just Daniel. Where did Dylan actually
anyways.
finish?
Back to serious talk. Well done, John.
10.
You
Dylan
done a
finished
good
10.
job, and you done well. I mean, we'll ignore that I got completely raped, but you did a good job, man. Like, no warnings. That's hard at this track. Like, I almost got 6
Sportsmanship
seconds.
100.
You done a good job, so well done to you.
Especially when the sun's bloody glaring in your eyes. How do you
Yeah.
see the corner, man?
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of
I
people
do that
complaining
chicane, but
already.
it's just like you've really got to like you can't really see it that well.
I'm the host, but I'm doing what I'm told.
Yeah, but you
Yeah, it would have been.
Do you want a
nice if
reliable
Friday
host?
It's kicked from the commentary team.
was done. How about Arlie?
I should have stuck to it.
Oh man. My favorite battle was T.S. Norris in the wall.
Wait, what happened there?
Square said my favorite battle was T.S. Norris in the wall.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. He's fucked off from the league now anyway, so he won't see it anymore.
Oh, yeah, I was,
What's
I
on
was
Norris?
gonna say he should be in tier 2.
Oh,
Yeah, he
you're
definitely should be
rude.
after this past races.
To be fair, Dylan is the only Dutch man that can stay, okay? And that's if he doesn't like leave. Again.
I mean, I could just kick people out for being too fast, but nah.
Hey.
But too slow.
Look
I mean, you already have Kaya, but
Nah, he's well fast, man. 140 is around, but I only dream of his lap times.
Wait, I thought that
He's
was
so
a spa.
quick.
Oh, I thought that time was a spa.
Fuck, I paused it.
So,
Balls.
GSR axe, ticket, hashtag 108, closed, reason, lol. Reason, lol.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
speaking of our lane, qualifying
It's
sector
actually
3,
well.
I think he just teleported through a corner because he did a 31.6 in the 3rd sector just to beat me. A 31.6! And I look at that and I'm like, okay, you fucking teleported. you teleport the corner because what the fuck? I was like 4 or 5 tenths off in that 3rd sector. I'm like,
I mean, we
how
can't
the fuck have you
forget,
done that?
we can't forget in DAR where he got spun out at the double left-hander, like downhill, and he just teleported into 2nd place. It's like, nice. Nice one. Whenever I lag, yeah, I always get screen freezes. Why can't he have that? Imagine him. He'd be on lap 1 if he had my internet, my luck, sorry. Oh, James
Oh, wow.
G Star. Subject Felipe. ... Oh,
oh my god.
These
This will probably
tickets
be
are
very
amazing.
very tight, but I'm gonna have to get you a penalty.
this is comedy gold.
Anyways, that's it for the post-race interviews. That's all we got. And make sure you join us next week for Spain for all 3 tiers.
Boo.
Thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you then.